Hi Rudy. Thought of sharing this one of the core features of our customer relationship marketing with you, so you have a better idea of what is this is capable of, and from here, what are the value that we can bring on to NAS and all your other potential customer. So quickly go through that. This is a very typical customer life cycle. From left here, you get to see new visitor or a new sign up. From here, slowly we can nurture the user, handhold a bit, turn them into potential first time buyer, potential repeat buyer once they made a purchase, and we can define what is a repeat buyer. So from here, here's a tipping point. From repeat buyer, it may slowly churn down to active, silent, and eventually churn. So what can we do about this life cycle? Especially when they are already a repeat buyer, we want them to refer to more customer per se. Before they made a purchase, maybe you want to incentivize them, give them a first purchase. So on the right here, you get to see that. So unfortunately, we do not have any screens yet. We have most of the wireframes and we are building the engines behind. Already have one customer that we're going to implement this. So I'll be able to share some screens with you hopefully within the next few weeks to a month. So what do we have here on the, if it's a first time offer, meaning this customer signed up but he has not made any purchase. In that scenario, it could be someone visited the booth, the counter. They've gotten a consultation. They like the product. Now they have gotten an access to the website. So after a certain number of days, here what we can do, we can the text in orange is actually configurable for different clients. So from here, I can configure that. All right, system will send an automated message 1 day after the first visit or purchase. So assuming you sign up today, the next day I can send you a message. It could be a SMS, it could be a WeChat messaging, or it could even be email marketing. From there, we will send them a voucher and incentivize them. Okay, please come back to us, show us these emails or whatever voucher code. We can give you a 20% discount, for example. Yeah, something good enough to keep them coming back, because here's psychology, right? I mean, if the customer step into your store for the first time, you incentivize them to come back for the second time, there's a higher chance that they may come back on the third, fourth, fifth, right? Because most of us just too busy, and then we might forget about the brands, and there goes the money spent on marketing to acquire one customer to drop by to one of their retail. So the second scenario could be a potential repeat customer, meaning they've made a purchase. So I can configure the system to say if they've made more than X number of purchase within a Y duration, the system will then trigger these rules. So all these are rules that we can configure in. From here, what are the actions that we can do? We can reward to entice potential repeat customer to keep coming back, right? So assuming they've made a purchase of $50, what we can do is to incentivize them to buy something at a higher value, maybe something at $80 or $100. That's one of the example. Now then, maybe they are repeat customer where we can cross sell. So these are the things. Now, one of the more important things is from risky here to churn. So risky, once we define the criteria, what is risky? Maybe they have made a purchase constantly, once in a month, for example, in the last 3 months, and suddenly this customer just stopped coming back, or on intermittent, for example. So we can define it here. So then system will then schedule to send after X days, after there's no activity for Y period of time. So this customer has not visited the website maybe, or has not made any consultation. The system can send a very personalized kind of message to remind them to come back, things like that. Or whether they have churned out. So 60 days we send something. If there's no response, maybe it's 90 days we can send something, something that they cannot resist, something that they cannot say no to, something that too good to be true. Maybe something like a 50% discount, for example. I don't know. Depends on the customer. What kind of depends on the merchants. What kind of promotion they want to do. So the next screen I'm going to show it to you would be on the automated targeted promotion. So this one would be rather semi-auto, I would say. So the seller in this case, NAS, they can, because we have already collected all their information, their basic information. If we allow them to log in with Facebook, WeChat, and all that, we will be able to get some of their basic information from here. they'll be able to select, all right, I want to target this new promotion to people of certain age group, of gender, in this case mostly are female of course, but visit frequency, how many times have they visited the store, made a purchase. We can pull from their POS, their point of sales, or even manual entry into the system. I'm sure they keep track some of those sales data, or even amount spent, between X number of amount of certain days, things like that. Once you have configured that, you click view result, you get to see how many members falls into this criteria. From there, we can uh, run a targeted marketing to target them with something like, okay, for example, I can do a happy birthday message, personalize it with the name so that the message will say happy birthday CK instead of happy birthday to you, things like that. So it's more personalized. Even down to the redemption, the voucher, we can personalize it as well, or we can keep it consistent for everyone. So it's your birthday, so I'm giving you a 20 ringgit vouchers, and of course you can then earn 2x points, or if you made a purchase exceed certain number of amount, I give you, you will get a free size up, or whatever, things like that that we can put it in. So this is rather semi-automated, I would say, and we can schedule it as well. So back to the customer life cycle, the message, we will be able to customize it down to a template like this. So let's catch up if you have any more questions, and this is actually one of the um, core features I hope to share with you more, and catch up soon.